Hello, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I know it's been a little bit since we've had Thanksgiving and I needed to study for finals, so now that that's over, I can finally feel like I'm human again. So I've actually been really excited to film this video for the last couple of days. This is the Take Me into 2019 update. Well, I guess it's the update before we do a finale update at the end of the year, but thank you, Abbie, for developing this challenge. I'm going to go on and link her channel, Make Life Your Runway, up here, as well as in the description box below, so go check her out. She's an amazing, amazing person. And like I said, I've been really excited to film this update because I feel like I'm finally making some big progress, and I've had to make some changes in items that I'm panning because I've had a lot of makeup go bad on me in the last month. Like it's been nerve-wracking because, I mean, I've had products expire on me before, but this month I feel like it's just been a lot at one time. So let's get to it. The first item that I really wanted to make progress on, and I have, is in my Lorac Pro 2 palette. I really wanted to make huge progress on the shades light brown. My goal is to finish this by the end of the year. So I'm really excited. I've been using a Morphe crease brush to kind of run this in my transition area. It's definitely, I guess you could say, a neutral tone brown. I didn't want something too warm or something too cool. And once I finished the Strutter shade from the Kat Von D Me Vita Logo Remix palette, this has been a really great substitute. So I had a pretty substantial well in it, but I had not hit pan when I did my introduction for this video, so I'm feeling good about this. And with the way that I can kind of keep an easy pace with Lorac, I think I can finish that by the end of the year, so that's pretty exciting. The other shade I went on and decided to step into was Beige down here. I'd already hit pan. I want to finish this by the end of the year. The reason I'm using this in a concentrated effort right now is because I had a couple of my Kat Von D shades expire. I dealt with itchy irritation on my eyes, and so I was using another Kat Von D shadow that I wondered if that was part of the irritation, as well as a blue eyeshadow I was using. So I'm just using that on my face, and then I went on and started using this beige shade to actually go in with my inner corner and my brow bones. So that is giving me substantial progress to be able to finish this. And if you're curious, you've been following this palette for a while, I did have some Franken shadows over here that I'd made. I went on and just ripped them out of my palette because with those Kat Von D shadows, I'm not taking any more chances with using those on my eyes. So feeling good. I think I'm gonna hit my goal of finishing those by the end of the year. Then the, I guess you could say, second, third item I really wanted to finish is my Peach Fuzz shade out of my Too Faced Sugar Pop palette. And I think I can do that as well. Like I said, with the Franken shadows that I had made over here, I went on and just took them out of my palette because it is not worth it to me to give myself another eye infection, because I wasn't even able to wear makeup over Thanksgiving, which sucked, but it's fact of life, you know? Okay, so what we've got going on here is I've hit pan. I did have to repress it because I hit pan before and it was just getting too hard to kind of get my brush around the pan without fraying the bristles. And so I've repressed it, and this is all I've kind of got left. I use an e.l.f. brush, and I use this to tap over my eyelid on top of this NYX concealer pencil. This is just in a matte yellow shade, and my goal with this is to also finish it by the end of the year. So I'm at the point where you can't even see much of the NYX label, and I don't even remember what this was called. So we're gonna go for it and finish it by the end of the year. So I'm feeling good about that product as well. I'm really liking that I'm able to finish all of my eyeshadow right now. It's just a good motivator considering I'm not able to finish that palette. So we're just going with it. Then the next item I really wanted to kind of work on is my MAC Mariah Carey quad, and I'm That Chick You Like. I am going for finishing, well, probably not, well, we'll see, I don't know. I'm going for using as much as I can of this brown shade down here in the corner. I use this in my brows when I want an easy brow powder day. I use it as a liner. I use it as a shadow in my outer corner. And tip, when it comes to the MAC matte formula, I've noticed that it develops hard pan really fast. So once I hit pan initially with this shadow, I went on and repressed it, and it's made it a lot more practical for me. I really enjoy the formula of it now because it's not so stiff, it's not so hard to work with, it's much easier to blend out. So In case you're struggling with some MAC shadows as well, that worked for me. I mean, it doesn't look as pretty because it has a little bit of the cracks in it, but it is a lot more functional for me on a daily basis. And like I said, it's easier to blend out. I'm finding more uses for it, and it's helping me to kind of stay motivated to use this. So great tip if you're struggling with some MAC shadows from your collection. Okay, my camera cut off there, but the next shadow I kind of want to go in and finish is what's left of this Kat Von D Raw Power. And seriously, I don't think I even have like 2 weeks left in the shadow, especially if I go in and use this as a blush for a couple of days, because I've just gotten down to the bottom of it. And funny story, so I was thinking that I didn't have too many more reds, and then I started depotting a bunch of my shadows, and I was also looking through the Saint Center palette because I did pick that up, and I kind of wanted to get a little bit of use out of it, since it seems to be a common theme that I've noticed from a lot of us that own Kat Von D palettes, that we're noticing the shadows go bad a little bit faster. And so I found another red that's like a dupe to this. And so I was kind of chuckling to myself, because I'm like, well, dadgummit. I mean, every palette is just repeating each other over and over and over and over again. And yet we continue to get stuck on the hype. So I don't know, just random thought for the day. So if I ever thought I would miss this shadow, well, there's more. So just wanted to kind of share that, you know, because I've really been loving the look. I feel like it's very me. I haven't gotten sick of it. And I was kind of thinking ahead to what I want to pan, because my plans were a little bit foiled now that I'm done using my Me Vita Look palette. So just kind of thinking of what to do for the end of the year. Anyway, sidebar. Then next product, the Clinique Cheek Pop and Cola Pop. This blush, man, it is packed in there. I still have not made it past the initial flower design. I feel like I'm making tons of progress, and you can see like one side of it is a little bit lower than the other, but this is intense. Like, for those of you that finished Clinique Cheek Pops, how long did it take you? I'm really curious, because I feel like blushes already take a long time as it is, but I feel like this is especially the most challenging blush I've ever taken on before. So I don't know, is it like done like you hit pan really fast after you get through the floral design, or is it just going to take forever to get through in general? I'm curious. I'm really curious how long it has taken you, because I know there are quite a few of you that have been able to finish these in the past, and I really would like to know, because that blush has taken serious commitment. I love it, but I'm also curious about its shelf life as well, because let me take you into the next product, and that is my Clinique Lip Pop in the shade Cola Pop as well. It's not meant to be with this lipstick, because the tube I was using before literally went bad. It was awful. I had to throw it out. There was just no turning back. And so I went to Ulta to repurchase it, because I mentioned before, this is one of my top 5 favorite lipsticks of all time. I love this color. Well, I went and bought this tube, and I've owned it like a month, and it smells bad. It is awful. And then when you twist it up, look at all this hot mess. I mean, it's awful. And so I don't know if it's just been sitting on the shelves for too long. I don't know. Like, I'm done. I'm done trying to buy this lipstick. It's time to move on, move forward with my life, and enjoy something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sub in a tube that I had in my collection of Max Taupe. It's what I'm wearing on my lips, and here we go with a My Lips But Better kind of shade. But you know what? I'm just kind of over the moment with this lipstick. And I even went and smelled some of the other lip pops that were out on the shelves. Not all of them smelled this waxy, crayon-y nastiness. So I don't know if it's just this particular formula. I'm sure they've been on the shelves probably a little too long, because nobody's talking about these anymore. So maybe they aren't being purchased. I don't know, but whatever the case is, like, definitely before you buy lipsticks, a note that I'm going to give to myself every time is definitely to smell and look at the lipsticks before I go to the register and pay for this, because I am seriously disappointed that I spent money for what I thought was a brand new lipstick, and it has definitely gone bad, because it smells as nasty as the one I had to throw away previously. And who knows, they may have been from the very same dye lot batch, whatever. So that's just, it's really disappointing because I know that that previous tube I think I'd had for 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. And it was definitely rancid. So here we go, we're gonna use taupe. And I have had some use on this lipstick. It's just a really easy, wearable, everyday nude. I don't expect to finish it by the end of the year, but I definitely wanna make sure that I get some use out of it so it's not just sitting around in my collection. So it is what it is. Then, speaking of which, going into the next product is my Franken shadow I made out of Kat Von D's Thunderstruck mixed with a couple of other shadows. I'm using this as a highlight. I just pressed it into this Becca Compact that was the Gradient Glow Bronzer. This is where I am. I'm making huge progress because it's at the very bottom of like a thin layer, so I'm going to go on and knock this out. I'm no longer using it on my eyes just because, again, I'm a little bit hesitant. Even with that red shadow, I've been keeping a really close kind of observation on my eyes to make sure that I'm not having any irritation or anything for the rest of the year, to make sure that I kind of don't go through that allergic reaction again. So I'm going through this as a highlight. It's working out well. I'm definitely going to be able to finish this and clear out some packaging, so I'm feeling really, really good about that. And then the one I'm really proud of is this roller ball that I have from Michael Kors. It is the Sexy Ruby Rollerball Perfume. I really enjoy this scent. I talked about in that intro video that I just toss this in my purse, and when I get in my car in the morning, when I'm taking my kids to school, I dab a little bit on my wrists and then rub it on my neck. I dab a little bit kind of behind my ears and then just kind of go. And because I've made such a concentrated effort, I have made a ton of progress because I started off up here by the U and the B, I think, and then now I'm down here at the A and the E. So who knows? I mean, that's already kind of that much finished. It's a lot. It's a lot of rollerball perfume. So I'm really proud of myself because I am typically not the most diligent about applying scents. I'm really hard to please when it comes to fragrances because I'm sensitive to a lot of things, but I really have enjoyed this, and I could easily see myself finishing this by the end of the year, so I'm excited. And then lastly, my gimme product, my MAC Costa Riche eyeliner. Fortunately, I was not using this when I started developing my allergic reaction, but I went on and sharpened it and sanitized it to make sure that I'd be okay, but this is all that I have left, so I easily think that I can knock this out probably within the next, I don't know, week and a half. So I'm gonna have to figure out if I'm gonna just use some black gel liner and then set it with that espresso shade, or just use the espresso shadow on its own from that MAC palette. So that's where I am. I'm feeling good. I hope that you are having just as much fun with your project pans. It's a great time to just kind of take that last month of the year to really just push through. Or if you're feeling like you're stagnating, if you've had a year-long project pan, maybe swap out a few items and do something that you can stick with for a couple of weeks and feel really great about finishing it, or switch to some products that you love. I know I've rotated in some things, and so it's been a lot of fun, even though I feel like this last month has been Amber deals with expired makeup situation, because that really sucks, but it is what it is. So that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for giving me a few minutes of your day. I wish you all the best. I do have some videos coming your way because I'm finally able to have a little bit more time to film before Christmas break kind of starts in. And so I'm going to do what I can and get what I can film. So I look forward to catching up with you very, very soon. See you later.